Alright, what's up yins guys? A little bit windy today and it was a little overcast and rain and a little wind. Hopefully don't blow my camera over. And once again, hopefully the background noises of the AC unit behind this building ain't too distracting. Wish I had a fucking better place to read. But then again, these circumstances create a challenge because it could be keeping me from giving you some valid information. You know, if I speak loud enough and read loud enough, you will get something out of this. And be sure to follow my playlist, which I'll say once again, I'm not reading this in chronological order from cover to cover. I'm picking any fucking chapter I feel like it. And then I could just, if I wanted to put the playlist in chronological order, I can do that when I feel like it later. But I do what speaks to me at the time. And I'm taking this chapter here, Discovering the Keys to BS, which really I could have been reading earlier in the game, but I do whatever subject speaks to me. And then this, even though it says in bold title, Discovering the Key to BS, before I read this, the author is making reference to a paragraph that I really could have been reading to you before this, but I'm not, because it might bore the shit out of you anyway before I get to this main point. So. But this speaks a lot about the bullshit of hierarchy, and that's why I want to do this. So when I open the reading here, you can tell that the author is making reference to a chapter that I couldn't be reading before this. But anyway, I'm going to start reading this. Okay, Discovering the Key to BS. Unfortunately, these experiences repeated well into my 40s. Whatever experiences that was in this previous chapter that I could be reading. There were times I felt I was congenially stupid. What's that word, congenially? Is it like that movie Miss Congeniality? We look up that word. There could have been a better word. There were times I was congenially stupid, or why don't you just say there were times I felt I was stupid, or felt like I was really retarded or an idiot. Okay, but anyway. Oh, I had come to have some defense, like believing only a third of what I saw and less of what I heard, becoming quite wary of anything that sounded too good to be true, or even checking out the facts to the best of my ability. Still, I found it wasn't sufficient protection. It was not sufficient protection, not at all. What puzzled me the most was what these people gained, other than the person who stole my idea and profited by it. I very seldom saw anyone gain anything tangible. If they did not gain anything material, why did they do it? There didn't seem to be any logic in it, nor any answers seemed possible. That is until 1969, when Dr. Lawrence J. Peter published The Peter Principle. Yeah, I ought to look that up, a book called The Peter Principle. It might be interesting, maybe you can read it online. The discovery of a new science called hierarchology, the study of hierarchies, which points out how incompetence occurs and is rewarded by our society. Do we have a bingo? As Dr. Peter describes it, the term hierarchy was originally used to describe the system of church government by priests into ranks. And yeah, it's done in government too, in every fucking place you are. And even out in the streets of some of your friends and peers and races, some of them together and some of them associate with each other and some of them against each other, but place people off against each other, but it could be gang hierarchy, group hierarchy. You can bring people together for one reason while playing others against each other. But, okay, as Dr. Peter describes it, the term hierarchy was originally used to describe the system of church government by priests into ranks. The contemporary meaning includes any organization whose members or employees are arranged in order of rank, grade, or class. Here is my clue. If all these systems have hierarchies where people move up or come down, then someone must dominate the others and be dominated. Therefore, a constant in the hierarchies has to be power. My next step was to correlate power with authority, which has the run of my entire life, from mother to father to priest or school teacher, public figures, business leaders, etc. Oh, now that could also be the alpha, and the person has the muscle. It can be the worship of police state, the enforcing class, or like I said, the YouTube video, the story of your enslavement. The enforcing class may not always be police, military. It could be the muscle, whether you're black or white, Asian or whatever. The people that are the alpha, the muscles in the streets, the enforcing class, the ones that will fuck your ass up if you dare live off, and you can move up in the hierarchy. And if you're not in a clique, could be no fucking better a free-range version of prison hierarchy, but only a free-range version without the bars. Just like free range doesn't mean freedom, you know, two versions of the story of your enslavement in YouTube videos. But anyway, yeah, school teacher, public figures, business leader, etc. A further revelation was that in each case, something had been imposed on me from on high. The more I examined this thought, the more I could begin to see certain patterns emerging with eventually formulated into principles that can be validated by the same circumstances occurring in all bullshit situations. Initially, these were, next page, 1 and 2 subtopics. 1, every bullshit situation is a power transaction. Or I could say, every bullshit situation is a power transaction or has a power transaction. It is one, but it has one. Well, it becomes one, you could say it either way. And number 2, bullshit travels most often from the top down. So there's other words, there's a ringleader, somebody that's the muscle, somebody that's the super intellectual, that everybody bows down to, that you don't dare criticize or speak against, whether you criticize to their face or question to their face, or question, or somebody will run and tell, or they might get you fired, or in the streets they might fuck your ass up. Like I said, the world could be a free-range prison, you know, prison hierarchy. Bullshit from the top down. Yeah, the alpha, the super, whether it's the muscle intimidation or the psychological intimidation, the fear of you won't have any friends, and so on. Just like the author of this book said in other chapters I read, when you do something that everybody else is doing, or believe somebody else because they believe it, do something just because they're doing it, and you join in, you're actually being intimidated out of fear that you'll be all alone and lonely. Just like these protests that are going on right now during this. But anyway, let's finish the rest of the paragraph before I get too carried away. From this point on, my fascination and joy, other principles and colors emerged. From the very first time, I now began to understand the mechanics, the structure, the payoffs, the social, psychological, pathological, moral, and philosophical implications of this subject. No longer would I have to be a helpless victim. How could I detect it sooner and end it faster, and overall be more productive and happy? In retrospect, it is very clear that from the time of our birth, many of us have been trained and conditioned as receptacles for this waste. So we were groomed and trained from our birth, no matter what financial level you're on, what color you are, you're groomed and trained as to be a receptacle for bullshit. Yeah, whatever class you are. And my opinion, this reality is hidden from us by people pulling every bullshit to play us off against each other, whether it's racism, class warfare, and all kind of other shit. But anyway, okay, on with the rest of this. Whether it came from family and loved ones or strangers and enemies. Bullshit, in addition to all other things it is foremost a control mechanism. When one is controlled, one's power is regulated or suppressed. So in other words, the controller, the hierarchy, they're super intelligent, the one that will use every single intellectual means, which could follow by your threat of not having any friends or your threat of even getting your ass kicked, or any other kind of threat to control you if you question anything. But anyway, yeah. So when one is controlled, one's power is regulated or suppressed, aka yours and mine, leaving the person idled and wasted. In other words, impotent, meaningless, and much less than before. In other words, you're a sheep. And, this book, then, is a key to understanding all the deception, and in turn understanding of a major facet of structure of civilization. With many people in business, industry, trade union, politics, government, and armed forces, religion, and education, using bullshit as a coin of the realm, and everybody else in the lower hierarchy, streets, different people that are the muscle, and have the brain behind everything, to make you either feel stupid or feel like you might get your ass kicked if you don't obey or believe. We're living John Carpenter's They Live. The movie John Carpenter's They Live, people. If you're white or black watching this, you can be Roddy Piper, and then the other guy. Put the glasses on. But anyway, it almost is impossible to escape its snare unless you arm yourself well and see bullshit for what it is. You may be the next victim. Worse, if you are bullshitting yourself, you may be your own worst enemy. Do you have the courage to face the deception of others as well as your own possible self-deception? If so, ahead lies peace of mind through a more honest and accurate communication, as well as more fulfilling and gratifying in life's experience. And I just finished this chapter before the wind might start to blow, and I'm afraid it's going to blow my camera down. Anyway, look what's happening now. If you're happen to be up on this video, during what they're telling you, all this rampant protests over one person dying, is all over the country, all over the world, and different aspects of violence and different solutions celebrities have make you feel like you have to obey or bow down or believe this and that, and you have to feel guilty for somebody else's fuck up, like, you didn't. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to go on about that, about the protests, but if you happen to be look at this video of my reading, that shit's the thing that's going on right now, unless you happen upon this video a year or something later, either it'll taper off or more bullshit will be going on, but this is a perfect time to get yourself a copy of this fucking book. Some people have it overly priced, but yet you could get it for about a couple of dollars on eBay or Amazon if you really do some fine searching. I'm ending this video right here, but it talks about political things, the old stuff about the Falkland Islands scandal, the Iran hostage crisis during the Reagan era. So if you're in some political stuff, this author gives their opinions on that too. So, all right, that's the end of this video for now.